do not forgive somebody who has hurt you, then it means you are telling God that deal with me as I've also dealt with that person.
Wow. If I train my child such that he comes out of school and he cannot do an alternative job, then I think as a parent, I am failing.
The midnight that you cannot sleep and thinking about this child, tell yourself, Lord, I hand over this my wayward child unto you.
It is not about the job the person is doing in terms of what we think. But at the end of the day, is it the will of God?
I think that it's very unhealthy for couples to be talking about breaking up and threatening them. It doesn't really solve. If the person is unrepentant, that cannot change it. Start with prayer.
One of the sickness that I pray to God everybody will get one in his life before they die and become a ghost is toothache. One of I don't know if you had toothache before.
I've had it before. You can't sleep.
The anointing doesn't solve it.
No. Watch Weekend Family Review with DOLLARICH every Saturday at 8:30 a.m. and a repeat at 7 p.m. Weekend Family Review, bringing the families together and reshaping society for tomorrow's generations.
Tell me, what can I do? 'Cause I can't live without you, no. I can't live without you.
It's been months of great revival for the family. The right atmosphere to break family yokes and bondages. Join redeeming the Family Glory team of GTV Live in another Power Family Consecration service.
Theme: Your Family at the Altar. Date: 26 March 2017. Time: 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. sharp. Host: ICGC Faith Temple of Angkor with Reverend Fifi Wilson.
GTV Live, your religion and culture channel, invites the whole family to come and join the great family of revivalists.
Evangelist Johnny Cole Dollarich of Weekend Family Review Show on GTV Live believes
you can redeem the family glory through relentless prayer.
So tell me, what can I do? Yeah, 'cause I can't live without you. I can't live without you.
Hello, precious viewers. Wow, welcome to yet another beautiful weekend with us here on GTV Live. And you know, the program is Weekend Family Review Show with me, Johnny Cole Dollarich. Now, week after week, we'll bring to you topics that will help shape your home. And our core mandate has still not changed, because here we say we are bringing the families together and reshaping society for tomorrow's generation. That is our core mandate. We do believe that no matter what is happening in your home, by way of God's grace, we can still restore the family beauty. That is why you shouldn't even miss Sunday, 10 p.m. while we bring you Redeeming the Family Glory. It is a prayer time that we bring on this program, that you'll be able to hold hands with the family to pray that whatever the enemy has touched, you can reverse it. You can get restoration for your family. We do believe in your family. Therefore, stand firm with the family. Let's pray together to ensure that the family is living in harmony. Now, we'll go for this quick break. When we come, we're about to discuss something very interesting. And it has to do with whether your husband or your wife is supportive in that marriage. Don't move. We'll be right back after this break.
Tell me, what can I do? 'Cause I can't live without you, no. I can't live without you.
It's been months of great revival for the family. The right atmosphere to break family yokes and bondages. Join redeeming the Family Glory team of GTV Live in another Power Family Consecration service.
Theme: Your Family at the Altar. Date: 26 March 2017. Time: 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. sharp. Host: ICGC Faith Temple of Angkor with Reverend Fifi Wilson.
GTV Live, your religion and culture channel, invites the whole family to come and join the great family of revivalists.
Evangelist Johnny Cole Dollarich of Weekend Family Review Show on GTV Live believes you can redeem the family glory through relentless prayer.
So tell me, what can I do? Yeah, 'cause I can't live without you. I can't live without you.
You're welcome back, and thank you so much for staying on. And the program still continues, and it is the Weekend Family Review Show right here on GTV Live. And I have this wonderful man of God here to help us do the topic of the week. And you know what? Earlier I did say that it's your husband or your wife being supportive in that home, in that marriage. And they'll help us do the topic. But we still have our WhatsApp line up screen and our Facebook page, Weekend Review with Dollaric. Just get connected with us. Let's do the show together. You can also give us a call after the program and let's do the talking. Sometimes you have some issues there, you want some counseling and all that. We'll be talking after the show. But please call somebody also to call somebody to tune in to watch the program. This program shows every Saturday at 8:30 a.m. and the repeat is at 7 p.m. Now, I'll go to my guests who are on set with me, and let me start with my far left. I have this bishop, this big man of God, and he's here to help us do the topic. All of you are welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, my viewers would like to know you.
Thank you. First of all, let me extend my regards to all families in Ghana and all over the world and those who are watching this beautiful program,
That's
Weekend
right.
Family Review.
That's right.
And the most important with you, DOLLARICH.
I'm blessed.
My name is Osei Yaudankwa. I am the National Coordinator for Christ Apostolic Church Youth Ministry.
Wow.
And I pastor Family Worship Center.
Wow.
Which is more of the same church, but we just a different style that we can reach the professionals and academia and all the rest.
I see.
So I live in, I would say Tama, right?
That's right. Wow. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you.
It's an honor having you on the set.
Thank you for having me.
Wow. And on my immediate left is this wonderful man of God too, and he will also tell us who he is and where he's coming from. Also, you're welcome.
Thank you very much. We would also like to say a very good morning to our cherished listeners and viewers. And we believe that this program is going to rejuvenate families, bring bonding together, and cause the family reunion to be able to move to the next level.
That's right.
And I'm Reverend George Asante. I am the resident pastor at Osu, the Headquarters Assembly of Christ Apostolic Church.
You're welcome once
Thank
again.
you very much.
Wow, it's an honor having you as well. And the program still continues. And please do take this opportunity to call somebody, also to call somebody to tune in to watch. And we are about to discuss material and financial commitments in your relationship and in your marriage. Yes, I know this is going to open up wounds. I mean, a whole lot of issues are going to happen out there, but let's take our time. We are discussing financial and material commitment. How supportive is your wife? How supportive is your husband? Please don't fight out there. I know some issues will be coming up quite seriously, but let's go into it. And let me take it from my immediate left, and let me go to Reverend. Reverend, when we are talking about material commitment and financial commitment, let's take it from your perspective. What are we really talking about here?
Good. We thank God for this topic because I believe that it has been one of the major challenges in many homes. And I believe that today God will help us to be able to unravel certain myths and truths about finances and material orientations in marriage. One thing we need to understand, whenever we talk about finances, our first and foremost would like us to go to Genesis.
That's right.
The Bible says that when God created Adam and Eve, God created Adam first. And it says, I have given you the garden, work on it and keep it. So God did not give Eve till Adam found a job. It is very important that if we are looking at finances as a major tool in bringing family harmony, we need to understand that, do I have a regular job with regular income? It doesn't matter what, money plays a very important role in the building up of families. And therefore, if you are hooking up with somebody who doesn't have a regular job and a regular income, the danger is that the challenges of money may destroy that love and cohesion that exists between the two. And so what we need to understand is that whenever we talk about finances or money, money is a dominion tool.
That's right.
It means that for you to be able to take a stand and to be able to order certain things in your relationship or in your marriage, money plays a very important role.
Wow.
But unfortunately, over the years, people have not seen this. They think that loving the person alone is enough. Yes, love is enough. But let me tell you that there are things that make love work. So if those things that make love work is not there, automatically that love will not work. That is why money must be looked at as a factor that can be able to bring marriage into where it must be.
Wow.
And when we look at, I would define money as your intelligence in handling the resources that God gives you to be able to harness them for man's survival and man's upliftment.
That's right.
So it means that you can look at money in different forms.
That's right.
You can look at money in terms of your intelligence in handling money. You can look at money as in terms of your skills and competences. You can look at money as in terms of your ability to understand how money operates. So if you are going into a relationship or you are going into marriage or you are in marriage and these things are not there, automatically there will be problem in the marriage. And then you look at material sequence. I will say that when you talk of materialism, it is a conceptualization of how one devotes himself towards material gains and desires.
That's right.
Now, you can't separate materialism from money. So the two are incongruent with each other.
That's right.
So it means that if I'm able to buy a car, if I will be able to see my children to school, if I'm able to build a particular career for my wife or my husband, money becomes a dominion tool for me to be able to activate that particular thing I want to achieve in life. And so all that I want to say is that today the topic is going to be very deep, and we pray that we are not going to fight, just as Dollar alluded to, but we are going to get the information that will inform and transform us.
That's right.
And so if today maybe you have married and things has also changed over time, please, there is hope for you.
There is
because
hope.
after this program, that hope will come to you.
And I see restoration in somebody's home right now, and the program still continues. And we still have our WhatsApp line up screen and our Facebook page, Weekend Review with Dollar. Just get connected with us. Let's do the show together. Let me go to my bishop. Give us your shot.
When you talk about finance, you talk about commitment. You're talking about materialism. Actually, let me pick up the materialism. It's a concept that says that nothing on this earth is important. What is important is matter. It's a concept that says that matter is a priority of life. Then let's look at the finance. We use the finance to acquire the material.
That's right.
Now, the balance here is that human beings were made or created to be loved. And things were manufactured to be used. Now, unfortunately, in our society, most of our societies, we have lopsided the priorities.
That's right.
We are loving these things, which are supposed to be facilities that will bring us to the joy, the fulfillment in relationship or marriage. And we are using human beings. But those involved in a relationship, a man and a wife in a family setting, a man and the children, you need money or finance. And I want to go further on the money, that it needs proper management of money.
That's right.
Not necessarily having money in a house. There are some people, if you gave them 100 cedis, 2 minutes, they can't even run an account. So you need a good stewardship of the money, so that the stewardship of the money will bring the joy, the fulfillment that families are looking at.
That's right.
And like you said earlier, many families are shuttered, closed down, broken, just because of this thing called finance, just because of these things called materialism. So money or finance to say, I want to be broader, finance to say it's very important, because that forms the basis from your preparations, financial, spiritual, social, emotional, health, finance. It's something that you need, because even as a pastor, and you want to prepare very well, you need to get a solid place to pray, and you pay money for a good hotel, travel. Those who travel to Israel for all this experience, so you cannot take out money.
That's right.
And hold the family, and you cannot hold on only to money and take. So they move together.
That's right.
But the priority is that families were made to be loved. and materials were manufactured to be used so that we can have that beautiful harmony.
That's right.
The desire that why I married you or why I'm in the relationship with you. If you don't prepare very well financially, what happens is that without blinking of my eyes, the relationship will be working on. So we just that we haven't had time to look at, as a society, the role of money, how to manage it. And as Reverend Asante rightly said, we have to look at it carefully, that not just money, but you're looking at that money in the relationship, that money in the family, using it as a tool to achieve some independence.
That's right.
And so further we'll talk about other things, but basically you need to be committed. It's not an option.
It's not. It's not.
It's not an option in the family.
Wow.
Finance, it's a commitment. And the beauty of the word commitment is that once you commit, it's a seed.
That's right.
And it to germinate, and you enjoy the fruits or the results.
That's right.
So you must commitment. Later we'll talk about some of these that families, and it's I thank the families who are watching that. It's I wish we take a longer period to discuss these issues, practicalize it, very pragmatic things, because we all live in a society that money is ruling, and let me say that after God next is money.
No wonder Jesus said you cannot serve two masters.
Thank you. And he spent almost 70% of his sermons on money.
That's right. That's right.
And when he was even talking about the Spirit of God is upon me, the first is to preach good news to the poor.
And that is money.
Yes, money.
Wow.
And if you are weak, unfortunately, with finances, it becomes a vulnerable space for somebody to get you.
Wow. We'll come back to that.
Yeah, we'll come back to that.
And the program still continues, and it is the Weekend Family Review Show. We are actually discussing material and financial commitment in marriages, in a relationship. And please do call somebody, also to call somebody to tune in to watch the program. And we still have our WhatsApp line, app screen, and our Facebook page, Weekend Review with Dollar. Just be committed to this program. Let's do the show together. You know what? I love you so much. Let me ask my next question. Earlier you did make mention of Adam actually was given the garden. I mean, he had a secured job before he made a move. I mean, before the woman came in and all that. But in our days, you know, love. You know, people meet people and. I don't know whether they don't take into consideration the things they have, because a young man called me some time back, and he was talking about so many things about the lady and this, and I said, my brother, take your time. If this lady says yes, are you sure you are ready that in the next 3 months, in the next 6 months, in the next 1 year, you can move or push forward and say, no, I'm coming to marry. That is it. What is this about relationship and love and all this? I mean, you should have I don't know if I was right, because I want you to throw more light on this. Yes.
What we want people to understand is that marriage is not man's idea. Marriage is God's plan.
That's right.
And if we go back to Genesis chapter 2, you will understand that God did not create a male for a female. He did not create a boy for a girl. But God created a man for a woman.
That's right.
That word man there means that somebody who is matured.
That's right.
Somebody who understands who a woman is. A woman's thinking, a woman's emotions, a woman's need, a woman's way of assuming things and presuming things. And somebody who is able to bring that woman to that place where God wanted to be. So that man is a matured man.
That's right.
Unfortunately, today we have people who have married, yet they did not marry those that God has preordained for them. In other words, they did not marry the matured men or the women.
That's right.
So there is a problem. So one thing we want everybody to understand and want to establish is that marriage is not for children. It is for matured people.
It's not for boys and girls.
It's not for boys and girls. It's very, very important for us to establish that fact. Number two, we need to understand that even from God's perspective, when he was bringing Adam into his job description, he used the name Adam. indicating that one need to be able to define his job and his personality. That when he was bringing Adam to Eve, he said the man. Meaning that you can be boss, you can be director, you can be whoever in your working setup. But when you get to the home, you must be a man.
That's right.
You must be a man that is ready to make God's ideal plan for that marriage to work.
You should be a man.
Now today, men have not been able to create distinction between their job and their wives. And because of that, when I go to my workplace and I'm called boss Kwame Mensah, when I come home, my wife must also treat me as such. And that is the thinking of the boys. And that is the thinking of the males. But when you marry a man is ready to pursue God's vision.
Wow.
And the woman is seen as the one that has the tools that will help bring that man to the accomplishment of that vision. And because of that, they are not pursuing vital statistics. They are not pursuing things that are material. But they are looking at the corporate vision God has set before them. And God in his wisdom, knowing that there's no way you can achieve that corporate vision without material resources, God first and foremost gave the man a job. Meaning that you can get to that destination when the resources to be able to help you use the tools are available. So God did this for them. Today, people meet and they propose love. And that boy who is proposing that love is living under his father's or mother's roof. Somebody pays for his bills. Somebody is looking after him in school. And then he has that impunity to come and propose to a girl. The question is, upon which premise are you proposing to that girl?
What a shock.
So the danger is that there will be fornication. Because I always tell my young ladies that when a man approaches you and he says, I love you, I want to marry you, it is just a statement that has been polished. The actual statement is, I want to have sex with you.
Wow.
That is the actual statement, that I want to have sex with you. And so, if your wife is beautiful, if your wife is this, if your wife is this, what else can you do with her? So now, one thing I want all my young ladies to understand, that when a man approaches and says, I love you, the real statement is that I want to have sex with you. But remember, sex comes with responsibilities.
That's right.
Yeah.
Sex is not gotten on silver platter. And in God's idea, the one that says that I love you, that word love must pull you to the altar of God.
That's right.
It is when you come to the altar of God that the man proves to God that I am now the man, you can give me the woman. So if you give a man your virginity midway the journey, he will leave you. Midway the journey, you have allowed the man not to become responsible.
He has accomplished what he wanted to do. Yeah.
So you've allowed the man not to become responsible. And the tendency is that because he has not become responsible, it means that he is not self-reliant. He's not living on his own. He doesn't have a job on his own. He doesn't have a home of his own. He has not even developed that mental capacity to be able to understand who a woman is. So the question is, how will he be able to treat you? That's why he could not come to God to ask for the wife. This is the reason why we send our marriages to the altar. It is God that brought Eve to the man.
That's right.
It wasn't Adam who went for Eve.
That's right.
So it means that when a man proposes to you, the man must go to God. And if the man is able
for
to
approval,
if the man is able to go to God, then now I am a man. And because I am a man, God, I have worked. And you have proved my work. I am so responsible that now I can take good care of the wife you are giving me. And they get a wife. But today, what is happening in our society is that people even meet at the public latrine and they propose to each other. We have no culture, understanding of the person we are proposing to. We have no background, understanding of the person we are proposing to. We don't even know the psyche of the person. We don't even know the friends, the social background, the status. And so at the end of the day, we are just chasing mirages.
That's right.
And a mirage is not the reality. So you will chase after it, and you will not find the reality. So please, if you are listening to us, maybe you have made a mistake of marrying a man that you did not even think twice when he proposed. But I'm telling you, you can still make it right. If you have married and things are not working out, I believe that the grace of God is going to help us throughout this program, and we will be able to bring you to the place where your man can say, I am now responsible for my wife. And remember, anytime we see a blessed man, we see a fruitful wife.
You see, there are some women, like earlier your submission, when you are the man, you should be able to maintain the woman and all that. And you marry the woman. This is the status. This is the nature of, the person. And then right from middle somewhere, she want to change the atmosphere. She want to change her personality. Probably now you are working at the bank, or maybe because she sees that no, you are making it. So now instead of probably being this kind of a person, she want to change everything. How do you
come again with that question? You want to change what?
What? Okay, let's say the status. Like now, she want to move higher.
Okay.
If probably she was eating jollof rice maybe Saturdays or something. Okay, now she doesn't want to eat jollof rice anymore. She wants to go to moving pick and probably have a lunch and a dinner and all that. So if you are in such a situation, how do you handle being a man? How do you handle such a situation?
I like that. I always, if you ask I always want to eat good.
That's right.
And eat good places.
That's right.
But the question I want to ask that, can I sustain it?
That's right.
Can I sustain eating at a very, I don't want to mention any hotel,
That's right.
a very expensive place, vis-a-vis taking care of my children at school?
That's right.
Can I sustain eating at that place, vis-a-vis taking care of my wife, basic needs? Can I do this because I need a class teacher for my son? I need a class teacher for my daughter. I have a lot of financial commitments. I have my mother, I have my father, I have to do social donations on funeral weddings. So can I still live there? So the question that we all ask ourselves, after marriage, after the relationship, we ask ourselves, how do we climb the ladder into financial independence? And that's something I always call financial integrity. Financial integrity. Get to work. Work. If you think your source of income cannot match what you do, you reduce it. And I always say this, what you don't have money for it, you don't need it.
Wow.
You reduce your impulse buying. You buy on budget. Financial budget. Financial integrity. Is another one I call financial investments. Let's invest as newly wedded couples. Let's start some investments. Let's invest in landed properties. Let's invest in something that appreciates. So with time we can handle or manage that life. It's great to live good. I think we are not here talking against living good.
No.
Because Reverend lives good.
It's good to live good.
Yeah, and he's dressed handsome, and I'm also a handsome man. and you, your name is DOLLARICH.
Yeah,
you have to live good.
Right. That's right.
But the question is, how do you sustain it? Because when you start something you could not, then it has so many implications. Has this guy changed? He used to take me to this expensive place every Sunday. He's no more. Hey, is he dating another guy? Those questions will start. And trust me, when your finances are not well managed, when you are not prudent with your finances, it affects your trust issue.
Wow, this is serious.
People easily read. So how do you move into financial independence? Do some investments. Invest. Invest in your personality.
Wow.
After I married her, she was A-level. I'm an old guy, so let me use A-level.
That's right.
She was A-level. What can we do to enhance it? Let's start some school.
That's right.
Let's get some diploma. After diploma, let's go to HND. Some steps to enhance us. Because people will not promote you based on pity. People will not meet you and say, you look too pity, so take this. No. And then your life and your marriage or relationship will be on a begging position. You're always begging people to feed your wife, begging people to feed your husband. It should not be so.
You work hard.
So it must be intentional, very deliberate to climb up the ladder. So you get to a point that you can eat anywhere you want. You can buy any car you want. But you have to do some investments.
Wow. I'm not taking you back, but let's look at this scenario.
I wanted to add a little to what Reverend said.
Okay, please do, and then I'll ask you my next question.
The person wants to change her status, his status. Remember, we married not for ourselves, but for a vision.
That's right.
And that vision is a shared responsibility. So now the new status you want to assume, will it work to promote the vision that we have.
That's right.
If it's not going to work to promote the vision that we have, then automatically we are going to destroy that which we want to build. That is one thing people need to understand. That in marriage is dynamic. And there is no way marriage will become static. We will grow over time. And as we grow over time, are we preparing a secured future? Where when I don't have the strength now, and she doesn't have the strength now, we can still live a better life.
That's right.
That is the future we want to build. And now you want to increase your status overnight.
Not possible.
It's not possible.
It's not possible.
The fact of the matter is that if you stretch yourself beyond the elastic limit, you break down.
Wow.
So the tendency is that the new status that you want to assume, if it's not in conformity with the laid down principles that the two of you have set for yourself, you will begin to create problem for the marriage. Today, somebody is driving maybe a small Corolla. Overnight, a friend of his has gone to buy V8.
But Corolla is a good car, please.
Yes, it's a good car, but I'm talking about the prices.
It shall grow.
It shall grow. Good. So, and then overnight, he wants to get maybe V8.
That's right.
4x4.
From saloon to SUV.
Meanwhile,
that's right.
your financial commitment will not permit you to even buy a car that is even more than what you are driving now.
And even buy the fuel.
The fuel.
That's right.
So automatically, what's going to happen is that you have to maybe get certain things somewhere to be able to make that thing work. But at the end of the day, what will be the repercussions on the marriage? That is why it is not bad if you want to live good. But
right.
we need to also understand that the vision that the two of us have set for ourselves is this new status going to affect it and influence it for us to get to where we want to be. If not, then brother, sister, don't try.
Don't try.
But adding to what my brother said, many of us, and I know homes who are listening, families who are listening, many of us, we don't even know the vision of my husband.
Thank you.
And the vision why we came together.
That's right.
And I get worried, personally, as a minister.
Every
and as a
marriage
counselor.
should have a vision.
Yes. There must be a spiritual vision.
That's right.
Where are we going?
What's the purpose of that marriage?
Yes. Why did Almighty God connect us together? Where are we going?
This is deep.
Because if you have no destiny, anywhere is okay for you.
Yes. This is serious.
So my sisters, I always tell my sisters in the church, if the guy said, I love you, where are we going? Where are we going? We need to define, because our God has the beginning and has the end. And we look like God. One day Jesus said something interesting. He said, if you start building and you could not, they'll make mockery of you.
That's right.
Because whatever you start, you must end.
You should finish it.
And before you start, you must have the impression or the image of the finished product. So you work towards the finished product. And I said something last night, very important. I said, what I saw and what I'm seeing now.
Yes.
When there's a difference between what I saw at the beginning of the journey and what I'm seeing now, it's not the image I saw. I need to work on my seeing.
Yes.
That's right. That's right.
So sisters, brothers, men, women, we're coming together to establish a family, because when we're able to build a good family, we build a good nation.
And that's the essence of the program, and
bringing families together and reshaping society,
for
tomorrow's
generation. Wow, I don't know what is happening in your home, but the program still continues, and we are discussing, material and financial commitment in marriage. I do know that there are so many issues that are going on out there, and I'll be asking a question, and that has to do with that stingy and that tight hand. And the man or the woman you are living with, but please don't pick up any issues. The program is to bring us together. We want to live in harmony. Now let's look at it. It's quite interesting. I spoke with one woman some days back, and then she was telling me, and my husband will leave 10 Ghana cedi as chop money. In fact, I don't know, sometimes it's so interesting. Probably that is all he has, but let's look at it. There are some women who are living with men, and their hands, it's not leprosy, it's just, tight. They wouldn't give out. And there are some women out there who, no matter how much they have, they will not come up with anything
to support.
Yes.
To support.
Yes.
Let's look at it.
It's amazing. It's amazing
That's
when
right.
some of these things are happening to marriages. Now remember, God is a God of giving.
That's right.
And therefore, when you come to a status where you assume that manhood responsibilities, you must be a giver. It's one of the identifications of a matured man.
That's right.
Remember, even in sex, you give.
That's right.
Everything that God created in this world gives. The stone gives. That's why we continue to mine them, use them, but they are still multiplying.
Multiplying.
Trees give.
Gold.
The air gives. Oceans give. Everything give. And even
resource.
human resource, human endeavor, everything we do. As we are sitting here, we are giving. We are giving. Cameramen are giving. Electricity is given.
Everything is given.
So one, any man who doesn't know how to give has not qualified to become a man.
Wow.
The reason why you have not qualified to become a man is that for you to be able to get to that destination that we are talking about as vision, you must give yourself. And God is the one that we are looking at. Jesus said that, imitate from me. So it means that we are also learning from Jesus. And if Jesus is a giver and the same spirit of Jesus lives in us, why can't we give? Now, another problem we also see is that we have not been able to table our lives on the table. So communication is a problem. We don't talk about issues. The woman doesn't know how much I take. The man also doesn't know how much my wife also is receiving. So at the end of the day, we are playing hide and seek with ourselves. But the question is, if you can strike yourself naked in front of your wife, in front of your husband, what other things can you hide from each other? It's pathetic. And so what we want to do is that if you are a woman, sometimes Reverend said something when we were talking about financial commitment. Trust is very important. Sometimes certain attitudes, certain characters that we portray prove to us that we are not faithful to each other. Sometimes you go to certain homes, and if the man buys a kitchen stool, he writes his name on and put down the date.
So they say that's my car.
That's
my wife's car.
When the wife buys maybe a kitchenware, she also writes her name on.
Or maybe they did that shoot.
Thinking that
shoot.
Yes,
shoot.
That is the meaning.
Yes.
That's the meaning that the trust has been broken, and because of that, this marriage ain't going anywhere.
That's right.
And therefore, I must begin to at least protect myself.
That's right.
So that in case it breaks down, I will be able to at least get something to depend on.
Wow.
If we have such a mentality, it means that trust is not working in that marriage. That is why we want transparency, loyalty, faithfulness, trust to be able to build the foundations of our homes.
Wow.
And I really want to beg from this medium that man and woman, you marry to make life better.
Wow.
You did not marry to destroy each other's life or compete with each other. So please, it is about time we open up to each other, talk about issues, iron your differences. When you read Job chapter 32, 17 downwards, he says that when we don't talk to each other, it is like a wine that has been closed with a cork for so many years. And what happens? Tension is created inside of it. And the day that the cork will come out, it will just splash on everybody.
That's right.
If we don't discuss issues, if we don't talk about issues as and when they come, the day that we begin to fire each other, there will not be any fire extinguisher that can put it off. So please, let us begin to talk. If your husband is tilting toward a particular area, your wife is tilting towards a particular area, please, let us be man. You see, when you enter into the hall, how many chairs do we have in the hall? We have 7.
That's right.
Which means completion.
That's right.
Which means that this family is a family that is complete in everything.
That's right.
And those chairs are not there for fun.
That's right.
You have 3 in 1, which is called a love-making chair. It is a church that we can talk, we can roll over, we can discuss issues,
What about
and
families?
even go to heaven.
What about families who cannot afford the 7?
And so they understand the mystery I'm about to share. So it means that there is love, affection in that marriage. Then there's a 2-in-1.
That's right.
How come the carpenter made it 2-in-1? 2-in-1 because we call the problem solving chair. It is anytime there's a problem, we don't need the third person.
That's right.
The two of us must sit down and iron our differences as matured beings, devoid of abusive language, hitting here and there. We should be able to sit down and talk it over. You are mine, and I am yours. And this is what is happening. It's not going to help us fulfill our vision and our purpose that we have set for ourselves. So what do? That we talk it over, then a common ground is found where we can all be able to tread and make it work. Then you have the 2 singles,
That's right.
where the two of us welcome people into our home. Whether my family members are coming, I don't have the right to say, Annie, can you excuse me? So that I'll talk to my mother. So if the mother comes and poisons me against my husband, it means that my husband is not in the know. I'm going to treat him based upon the information I've received from my family. The same thing happens to the man. So it means that anybody that is coming to our home, 2 of us must welcome them. This is what makes the home complete.
That's right.
This is what makes the home complete. So if aside all these things, and because of material gains, because of little money, you want to hide things from each other, then please, I'm sorry, you are not building a home that God wanted to be.
Let me quickly.
Please.
You posed the question about so a young lady walked to me, so Pastor, how much is good as chop money? And that's where I want to stay.
That's right.
Practically, how much is good? And I wish I can walk in the streets of Accra and ask our beautiful women out there,
how much is being given?
How much is good as chop money? I mean, the truth is that as a man, I must give something that resonates with the realities of the market.
That's right.
I will not sit on here and say, give 10 cities, give 5 cities, give 2 cities. But you must give something that would resonate with the realities of the market price. And remember, taste changes. Style changes. Preference changes. So today, this will cost 2 cities on the market. And you think, by the time you go there tomorrow, it must be reduced or gone high. So the question, I think it should be a discussion at home. How much would be good for the 2 of us?
That's right.
I will not sit as a counselor and said, release 10 cities to your wife. One day, a young lady came to me and she complained about the amount of money the husband has been giving to her. I said, keep quiet. If you said this for my wife to hear this, I'll be in trouble. You are complaining about this money. But then again, you need to look at where she's coming from.
That's right.
Maybe she's coming from a larger responsibility, a home where there are many people you have to feed.
That's
so I want us in the near future talk about how much is good.
How much is good? That's right.
And I would say support what will be resonating with the realities on the market. Number 2, I used to give a lot and support the family. Now I've got to a point that the curse of life, the challenges of life, I lost job, I've been retrenched, my source of income has come down, and the lady has it. The question is she supposed to? Yes. Yes, and it's big yes. Support.
That's right.
People said, where is it written in the Bible that a man should give to the woman a leader? But the thing is that you are making life together.
That's right.
The union is together. It's together.
Because this is definitely my next question.
Yes.
Because in some settings, some family settings, some homes, some backgrounds, they kind of like, they see it as the man's responsibility. I mean, the man is supposed to take care of the wife. I mean, because I've heard it a couple of times, and sometimes I go like, wow, you know. So, but let's look at it. Is there anything wrong with when the woman is supporting the home? Is it?
Well, I don't. I don't really want to take that as a tag and use as a tag everywhere, in every home, in every society. I've had women, great women, wonderful women supporting their families and holding on when there was a challenge at home.
That's right.
And vice versa. I don't support the view that the man should be a giver, so everything is the man. No. No. No.
Not at all. Wow.
And I also don't agree that I'm married to a rich woman, so I should relax. Because in some instances, as a counselor, I found that when some of these guys realize that the girls are, the women are doing well, resourceful, they back off in their...
They don't want to be responsible anymore.
No, I don't want to use the word responsible. They say, but you have the money. But you have the money.
That's right.
And so they, no. Your line of authority as a man comes with responsibility. We don't give our fathers money because they are poor. We give them money because our responsibility to take care of them.
That's right.
You don't give somebody because the person doesn't have. You give out because you want to share.
Okay.
So if a man in their social setting is taking care of the woman, there's nothing wrong with that. But there should not be an abusive element. Because the fact that I'm taking care of you, I take advantage of it and abuse you. Orally, using physical elements and all that. When you flip the side of the coin, the fact that the lady is taking care of me does not give her the authority to abuse me. A little thing, so, because I'm paying you to fear on your way.
That's right.
It should not. But you should understand that you enter into this union together. You enter together. In the Bible, you had women that in times of famine have fed prophets.
That's right. That's right.
And even in our society, there are great women, even in Ghana here, that have supported even the economy of our nation. And they are doing very well there. So I don't really want to accept that it is the man who's no, I don't.
That's right.
Whatever that society, their traditions, their culture mandates, I support that. But what I really want to go against is when there's an abusive element that would bring that, tear them together, tear them apart, and say, because I had one woman who, the husband, I also disappointed that the husband said, Otifie, no, Nkwalana Homo. And as I called him, as you need counseling, come to my office, I need to talk to you. And he came, I educated him, and they said, I'm sorry. You need to. The fact that she's home taking care of children doesn't mean he's not working. It is a full-time work.
Also, you were about to say something.
You see, the dynamics and norms of our society have changed over time.
That's right.
During the agrarian time
that's right.
where men were solely into farming, women were just supporting them in the farming activity. So it's like it is the man who was giving. But today, the dynamics in our societies have changed.
That's right.
We have women who are now also in the helm of affairs. They are working, their income generating ventures are also producing enough. And therefore, this is where we must also have that holistic way of thinking and approaching our relationship. Sometimes we know now in Ghana, there are women that their salary far outweighs that of their husband.
That's right.
But does that take the responsibilities of the man and the woman from the marriage? No. Because that's why I'm saying that if you really want to marry, you need to understand God's stand in marriage. Because it's not our idea, it's not our style. It was God's plan. And anytime we begin to understand God in marriage, we'll begin to also work in our marriages to be able to fulfill God's plan. Remember, the word love that we have alluded to, we have three kinds of loves that may maintain marriage. The first one has to do with the eros love. The second has to do with the philos love. And then the third is the agape love. The love beyond comprehension, vital statistics, status, academic excellence, the love beyond riches and wealth. That is the kind of love that must be in our marriage. So that I always tell people that challenges prove your quality. So if you say you love me, and now I'm in a position that I can no longer provide, but you have that particular need to be able to provide to me. It is here we see that kind of love that exists between us.
But the man who cannot provide should not be left out like that.
No.
He should be helped to come back.
To come back.
That's right.
Because the fact that you are done is, my wife's there, or my partner is there, so I've closed my ranks. No.
Not at all.
That man,
you have relinquished your responsibility.
that man should be helped to come back.
Yes.
And the fact that your wife is doing so well, and she should do well.
That's right.
God made them to do well.
Two heads are better
Yes.
than one.
So that fact that your wife or your partner is doing well doesn't mean you should also
sit down.
just no.
Yes. You see,
You must be helped to come back.
Yes.
To your responsibility.
One thing that as human beings we lose sight of that can be very detrimental to any sphere of our lives is when you lack ideas.
This is serious.
So when a man comes down and then it's like the wife who is now on top. Remember, if the man still has got ideas and is able to communicate his ideas to the wife, and then the ideas are ideas that are going to lift us to the next level of our vision, I'm telling you, the wife must be able to support the ideas of the man to come up. Remember, you are not employed because you are called rich dollar. But you are employed based upon competencies and skills. And the ideas you are bringing on the table. So it means so long as we have the ideas and you have the skills and the competencies, it means that we can bring productivity to bear. So now, I want to tell every home that is watching us that don't lose sight of the divine ideas that God has put within you. You can fall down today. Situations may change. But let me tell you this. You are the best to define the situations. Because it is not the environment that must determine who we are. It is us who determine what the environment should be. And therefore, the fact that something has turned overnight doesn't mean that I've lost it. By your ability to be able to bring what you want to do back into life is what makes you who you are. So what I want to tell every individual is that, number one, we must be able to know the kind of ideas God has given unto us. And number two, how am I going to rise up after I have fallen? It is not you falling down that matters, but how you rise up. So your ability to rise up will determine who you are. Number three, challenges. I've always said it and I will say it again. That man is a product of pain. Man is a product of pain. But suffering is optional.
Wow.
You can decide not to suffer. But as for pain, everybody will go through it. Because we grow over pain. We grow through pain. We mature through pain. That's why I'm saying that the challenges that confront you will determine your quality. And the quality is not your outward appearance, but what you have within. So please, you may lose your job, retrenchment has come to the house, money is not flowing, but there's a rich source of ideas that you have. Your potential hasn't gone wasted. Rise up, look at yourself and begin to rebuild the frontiers for your life, and your family will build up again.
And that makes you a man.
A man. So please, please and please, maybe you are a man, you are watching us, and you think that there's no way you are going to rise up. Let me tell you this, listen to the giant within. The Spirit of God is inside of you. And if you can go deep down inside of you, ideas from God will flow through you. And you can challenge your status quo, challenge your environment, and make that home a better place. You see, sometimes even when the man loses his job, he even loses his responsibility of discipline even in the house. Even bringing the family together. Everything goes off.
No, but that's wrong.
Yes.
That's just wrong.
Wrong.
Because
losing your job doesn't mean
it doesn't. It doesn't take anything away from you.
Not at all.
You must still keep your integrity and your responsibility. It's when you overstress finance. When you overstress, that's where you go to those things.
That's right.
You losing your job doesn't cause you to lose your man.
That's right. That's serious.
Yes. So I mean, when you are not careful, you overstress who you are. You get stressed out. You go through depression, and it affects every fiber of you. But what I want families to understand that maybe you're going through some challenges, still keep your responsibility. You are still a man. Discipline must be done. Finance is not equal to discipline.
And the program still continues, and it is the Weekend Family Review Show right here on GTV Live. We are still discussing material and financial commitment in marriage, and it's getting quite interesting here. But there's this question I want to ask my guests, and that has to do with us, the young ones, when we are about to marry. the way sometimes we lose our, let me use the word senses. You see a young man, you just started some job, made some small savings, and a lady as well. You don't have much in your account and all that, and for that spirit of love and that passion, sometimes you commit everything you have, even go and borrow, get more additional money from people that with the intention that the wedding offertory or something you got over. in a minute, we have some young men, because I know of a particular story that over 6 months to a year they were still paying debts that they were. I mean, it almost broke the home.
Oh yes.
It almost. I don't know what you tell our young ones out there.
What I really want to advise is that, as a young man, as a young lady, you are beginning life. You have just maybe completed school, you have gotten a job, and you are beginning your life. Please, aside you having that luxurious marriage in mind, you must also think that there will be the Monday.
Monday after
Sunday.
Monday after Sunday.
And that Monday will come with all the challenges and the mistakes you made on Sunday. So what we need to understand is that during the time of your wedding, please stick to advice that your pastors, your counselors will give you. It's very important. Some of them want to have 10 bridal maids, 4 page boys. They want to go to Akosombo and those things. And you borrow to begin your life. So even before you started the life, you are already in deficit. When are you going to pay that deficit and begin to build a life for yourself? Please, it is not what you portray outside that matters, but how you are able to sustain yourself over time.
That's right.
So please, you can have a simple wedding, but after your simple wedding, 2, 3, 4 years down the lane, you begin to see progression. You see your life progressing from one end to the other. And then the one who had a luxurious wedding is now thinking about what to do to be able to get up. So please, when it comes to wedding, because that's where the problem is. It's my wedding. Please, it's your wedding. But remember, do you have what it takes to be able to make it as you want it? And it is the beginning of your life. Just after the wedding, maybe some of you may not even consider that after wedding, do we straight away make babies? They don't even think. So when they go to the honeymoon and they are doing those things, they don't even budget for the children. So the moment the woman can say, I'm pregnant, but you too. Why did you get pregnant like that? Because they didn't plan for it. So what I want to advise is that please, young men and young ladies, please, we said something, cut your coat according to your material.
That's nice.
Please, and again, when this time comes, you will have a lot of advice from people. But please, your pastor, your counselors have been through it all. And if they give you advice, take them. Because sometimes the man will take it or the lady will take it, and then one party say, no, it's my wedding, I want to do it this way. But at the end, it is going to create tension. It is going to create unnecessary pressure for the marriage. And if you are not careful, you will lose your love life even before the marriage starts.
Let me frame this question for you, because you said you are coming up with this book that has to do with the Monday after the Sunday. Now, if you have a guy who probably from where he's coming from, I'm now talking about this young man and young woman. If you have a guy who has almost everything as a young woman, and he is like, no, I want to show off. You, the lady, what's your responsibility? Do you ask him to tone down in moderation? And if you have a lady who also probably from where she's coming from, she feels now she has some Legon or university friends, she wants to. I mean, she's coming from this background. She has to meet some class because I know of a lady, they have ladies like the family, and everybody had a standard. So she also want to go a step further. She doesn't want to go like 4 bright. No, she want to have 15 and all that. What will you tell this young man or this young
a general of the gospel of Jesus Christ, an apostle in our church, once told me, the greatest pain in life is when you want to please everybody.
The greatest pain in life is when you want to please everybody. This is serious.
In fact, your life slows down the moment you enter into that atmosphere of pleasing everyone. Wow. It is your wedding. Maybe you have the money to do whatever you want to do. But I advise you that invest in that money. And in our church now, as a commoner, we don't even allow people to decorate
the church.
You don't. Because the church is already beautiful. So that it will at least reduce your financial burden.
I know people do this decoration 10,000.
I have nothing against it. I have nothing. In fact, I have nothing against luxurious whatever. No. But the question is that as a counselor, as a counselor,
that's right.
As your pastor, I'll sit you down and we look at it. Sometimes they don't know. When you educate them, they take it. But as Reverend Asante said, there's nothing new under the sun. What are you going to marry? It's the two of you. So you don't have any standard. The only standard is the standard of Jesus. When you study great men who have achieved, they lead a very simple life, but not cheap.
This is deep.
So when you're going to have a wedding, think that that money that we're going to, I won't say waste, spend, could be used to invest in our future children or in ourselves. We can save that money to do our master's or first degree or HND or diploma, something to enhance or to start a business.
To better our life.
Thank you. Because marriage, wedding day is not a destination. It's a journey.
It's a journey.
It's a starting.
And surely it is a journey. And this is how far time will permit us to be. And it's quite unfortunate. I know there's so many things out there you wish we could touch on. But I'll promise you we'll continue with this program some other time. I will inform you. And I'll still have the men of God help us do the topic. And I want to say a big thank you to Reverend Osei for passing through Dankwa, and then Reverend George Asante. I'm so blessed having the two of you here.
Thank you.
It's a privilege. I'm so honored. And viewers, you know what? Stay blessed always. And remember, no matter what is happening and whatever that you are going through, if only you can commit it into prayer, if you can look up to God, trust me, it will work. For prayer, it solves everything. Stay blessed, keep the family together, because here we say we are bringing the families together, reshaping society for tomorrow's generation. This is our core mandate. We bless you. God bless you.
Oh, tell me, what can I do? 'Cause I can't live without you, no. I can't live without you.
It's been months of great revival for the family. The right atmosphere to break family yokes and bondages. Join redeeming the family glory team of GTV Live in another Power Family Consecration service.
Theme: The Family at the Altar. Date: 26 March 2017. Time: 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. sharp. Host: ICGC Faith Temple of Angkor with Reverend Fifi Wilson.
GTV Live, your religion and culture channel, invites the whole family to come and join the great family of revivalists.
Evangelist Johnny Dollarich of Weekend Family Review Show on GTV Live believes you can redeem the family glory through relentless prayer.
So tell me, what can I do? 'Cause I can't live without you. I can't live without you. He has given me victory. Oh, my God has given me victory. He has given me victory. Oh. All the days of my life I praise you. Everything that I have now you gave to me, Baba. Lord, I say for your love I'm grateful. Yes, you love me plenty, you came to die for me. Jehovah Rapha, Jehovah Nissi, I am that I am. Ooh. Oh, I searched around, there's no one else like you. Lion of Judah, you're the man, God has given me victory. He has given me victory. He has given me victory. God has given me victory. God has given me victory. He has given me victory. He has taken away my sorrows and now I'm free. I got me buru, hallelujah, buru. I got my para, hallelujah, para. Because of Jesus, every day now shakara they do. Double, heavenly blessings now him I they receive. Ah, yeah. God, your grace and mercy is always to follow me. Yeah. He has given me victory.
He has given me victory.
God has given me victory.
God has given me victory.
He has given me victory.
He has given me victory.
Hallelujah.